With Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 being an actual thing, there's been some ongoing rumors of a demo for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, which, first of all, I'm going to go talk about the rumor and then put in my thoughts in terms of whether or not I actually think that there's going to be a demo or if it's all just clickbait BS. And if there is a demo, it might not be the type that you might actually think. This whole tweet has been making the rounds again in several videos because, well, it's not really much people can really talk about. So hey, why not just repurpose old tweets as new videos and milk it for whatever it's worth? Don't worry, I'm doing the same thing, so it is what it is. Anyway, information about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 that I obtained from a reliable source in Japan and that I can now share. First of all, obviously, we don't really know if this guy actually knew about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 because, quite frankly, I don't really know him like that, so I'm not saying he is or isn't reliable, but for this video's sake, let's just take everything as a fact. One, it was well in development. Yep, I believe it's been revealed it's been several years in development now, so yep, that tracks. Many delays and some aspects have been completely restarted from scratch. I could believe this, especially because during the Fighters, Kakarot, Sparking Zero type of stuff, it's possible that developers, dimps, kind of like wanted to do certain things, but maybe they scrapped other things, and they've definitely been doing a lot. They've had a lot on the table, whether it be competition from other developers versus like having to work on Dragon Ball Legends and doing the Xenoverse 2 DLCs, and not to mention, what is it called? Fusion World, or not Fusion World, but pretty much the other game that Super Divers that pretty much replaced Hero. So they've had a lot on their table, and I could definitely see them, they're having they're having a certain type of vision, and then they kind of just like scrap it or just change things up because of a competition from other games. Graphically very beautiful, a ways to be seen, but a 2027 game being beautiful, it should be, and a playable version already existing. Okay, yeah, this is the big thing that's pretty much been getting people to say, hey, that means that there's a demo. And you know what, for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna go like, oh my god, this doesn't mean it's a demo. It could just be misinterpreted or something else, but I'm just gonna do this just for the sake of this video. A playable version already exists means that there is a demo in a certain way to which Bandai Namco will allow an entity to play it. Now, there's a few ways that they could realistically do this. One, they can do like a network test or one of those open betas. They've done this type of thing before with not only Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1, but Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I believe before it even released, where they allowed players to be able to download the game and play and pretty much just test it out. Back then, this was a different time, but a lot of people, they enjoyed it and they had their critiques, but it was mostly, at that point, they really had to do it because, for one, social media wasn't really as big back then. They didn't have as much influencers who could slob the shit out of it. And it was a risky game during this era. So it wouldn't surprise me at that time that, hey, they felt that more people playing it would get more eyes talking about it, which would lead to more promotion. And there wasn't really much competition. The previous Raging Blast games failed, as well as Ultimate Tenkaichi. The problem is that now we're in 2026, heading into 2027. The division has changed to where the division has essentially changed to where, it's not the only game now. There's games like Dragon Ball Fighters, which has amassed a different type of audience, and there's games that have like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which has amassed an even more toxic audience. And so what happens is that the standards have now been raised. The Sparking Zero fanboys, sometimes even fans, a lot of them will just dismiss Xenoverse stuff entirely. They will demonize the game, treat it as the worst thing in the world, and every other game is just complete trash to these types of folks. And quite frankly, there's no really negotiation with them. And so it's a bit of a pain in the ass to even be associated with an awful community like that, to where, for me, I don't even consider myself to be part of you guys' community. You can all go there by yourselves. I refuse loyalty to any game or company, especially a community where, quite frankly, a lot of them will use you and then throw you away when you're no longer useful. Now, here's the thing. There is a actual thing to this regardless of the rant, and the fact of the matter is the standards have been set up. If they do a playable demo, a downloadable demo, or network test now, in this age, the problem is that because these games have set the standard, then it could lead to a lot more bad press. You know, what happens if John Buck 3000 with his anime avatar starts making a Twitter rant or a YouTube video talking about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 sucks compared to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? And the problem is these types of videos, negative videos, get the highest types of attention, which would in turn affect Bandai Namco's Go and the promotion of Xenoverse 3, because all that negative press will trickle down to that game, to where some viewers may not even want to do it. And because there's competition, which a la Sparking Zero, regardless of whether or not they're different games, then this could lead to people not buying the game. So I could see Bandai Namco saying, you know what? No, we're not going to do a network test. We're not going to do a demo because this could lead to lower sales and much more scrutiny. And in the age of Twitter and YouTube, scrutiny and all that stuff is much more visceral. Personally, I would love a playable demo that's available to a lot of people because from the creator side, there's not really much restrictions and it allows people to have a fair chance, but also because there's less gatekeeping. That leads me to my second point. I could see Bandai doing the same thing they did for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and My Hero Academia, where they purposely select a few creators, whether it be 4 to 5, they make sure that they glaze the game to all hell, and then they praise the game and then do a whole bunch of PR without Bandai Namco having to pay these creators, because the truth is they don't really need to. These creators get a benefit from all the views that they get because it's a new game, it's new content, and in this age, obviously, a lot of people have shitty attention spans, and so they're kind of like, "Darr, I just want to go to the next thing, or we just always want something new." A side effect of the new TikTok generation that's pretty much infested the waters of not only certain types of media, but this entire fan base as well. Being an older person, I've seen it firsthand, and it's ridiculous for me to even be associated with that. Regardless of the matter, these creators, they're gonna be handfully picked and chosen, and you're gonna have a lot of people praising the game. You know, they're gonna say things like, "Oh, Xenoverse 3 is the best game in the world," or "Oh my god, this is one of the best," or "Everything is perfect." You're gonna have that. This is basically I can't even think of the word right now, but it's like when things are always set, when things are always good, it's always perfect. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 is going to be the most perfect thing in the world, according to them. And sometimes they really think that, but other times it's because the company is nudging them. Hey, you know what? We're going to do this, we're going to do that. You know, don't say anything bad. Indirectly, well, not directly. They're not going to say, you know, don't talk bad about our game, but you know what? It's kind of like if you have that opportunity to fly out to California to play our game, then you know what? You want those continuous opportunities. And so a lot of people, if they do the demo version where they record stuff from their own capture card, they're gonna lie to you, or they're just gonna say a bunch of puff piece stuff. And the creators that you might not want to be there will probably not be there, or they're probably not gonna talk about the negative stuff because it'd be stupid to. Now for me, there's a very good chance I will not be part of those conversations. And that's kind of like it is what it is situation now. If the YouTube was my full-time job, I would be panic-stricken and I would be devastated. But thankfully, I have a full-time job outside of this and don't really need to do YouTube. I could act however I want and just use this for the love of the game or just extra money or however I want. The point is that they're going to take a few select creators and they're going to invite them to California and they're going to, all that stuff, you're going to get 800,000 30 minutes of new demo gameplay stuff and you're going to be happy. But the negative effects and the negative things about the game will not really come to light until it actually releases. Now, the third thing is, well, they do have a playable demo, but guess what? You have to either go to California or go to travel other states. Now, this guy, Nechikage, decent guy. I actually like him. Pretty much one of the, most down-to-earth creators I've actually talked to, and pretty cool. He's had to travel, I believe, different states to go to, to go to California or to go to places that had Sparking Zero, and a lot of the times the footage had to be recorded from a third-party camera because guess what? Bandai Namco, they didn't allow him or certain folks to record the actual in-game stuff with a capture card. So this was their way of saying that, hey, you can play our demo, but you're gonna do this, and demo footage and all that stuff when recorded with a camera. I mean, people could still be negative about it, but I think that in general, when a game is recorded from a regular video camera, it has less drive and less promotion and kind of like less attention compared to when recorded from your capture card. So overall, I'm not really sure whether or not there's going to be a demo, but we can kind of use history to say history has a habit of putting us in the right direction in terms of Bandai Namco is most likely going to do a demo for certain creators on the field, whether they kiss Bandai Namco's ass or whether on their payroll. Actually, I'm just joking, but whether they kind of used as promotional tools for the game. And those tools get money and AdSense because of and promotion because they got the scoop first. And that's just how the media game works. That's how it is. So you, the average person, are most likely not going to be able to do that. You won't play Xenoverse 3 until the game actually releases because Bandai Namco these days is very careful about having the general public play their games in network tests or demo gameplays or betas. Have the games played by a select few of people, have them promote the game without Bandai Namco extending more money into the promotion purposes, and they're safe. And you, the creator, or you, the mid-size or small YouTuber, are not going to be able to do that unless you travel to a different state. If Bandai Namco allows it, and that's just a part of the game. Life isn't really fair, so it's up to you to look at all the videos of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 with an open mind, but don't take everything at face value to where everyone says that the game is perfect. Because if you do that, you're gonna repeat the same mistake that a lot of you guys made with Xenoverse, with Sparking Zero, where you thought it was the best game in the world, and guess what? After it released, you guys deemed it the most disappointing, or you guys dogged on it, including me. Alright, that's it for now. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, tell me what type of demo you guys think that we will have. I don't have all the facts, I can only use history as a means of my evidence. And take care.